Hey everyone, I'm DT10, and in this video I'll be showing you how to build the second Doctor's TARDIS in vanilla Minecraft. So, this is the exterior we will be building in this tutorial. So, it's fairly similar to my first Doctor's TARDIS exterior, but with some changes. However, we'll get to that once we start building it. And then, as you go inside, this is the interior that we will be building in this tutorial. So, this TARDIS has some very similar design traits to my first Doctor's interior. And while some parts of this are quite complicated and detailed, we will be building this entire thing in this tutorial. So, let's get started. So we're going to start by building the exterior, and the first thing you're going to need is a command block, and you can get this by doing /give @self or your Minecraft username, and then Minecraft command block. Once you've done that, you need to dig 2 blocks down where you want to build your exterior and place this command block facing up. Once you've done that, in your command block you need to write TP, then @P like that, and then the coordinates of your interior. So this can be anything. I'm going to go with 5,000, 5,000. However, on your Y coordinate, you need to put 1 block above the ground. So obviously, this part of your command, the coordinates, will look very different to mine. However, your command should follow this basic structure. Once you're done, click done, and then put some cyan terracotta on top like that, with a stone pressure plate on top like that. You then need to get your cyan terracotta once again, and you're going to place another block of cyan terracotta there, and then go all the way around the outside with cyan terracotta like this, creating a kind of horseshoe shape. You're going to go out 4 blocks like this. Once you've got this basic shape, you're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and then you're going to punch 1, 2, 3, 4 holes like that. Once you've got those holes, you then just need to fill all of them in with iron bars, and then you just need any type of door. Now I've got a dark oak door as I really like the texture of these ones, however it can be anything, and then you just need to place it in this hole here. Now this is where the design of this TARDIS differs to every single one of my past exteriors. So instead of going all the way around with dark oak signs with white text, you're actually going to do, on this side at least, birch signs. So you're going to go to this block here, you're going to go down 1 line and then write police in capital letters like that. On the next block across, you're then going to get another sign and go down 1 line once again and write public call with the P and the C being capitals like that. Finally, on the last sign, you're going to go down 1 line and write box in capital letters. You're then, however, going to get a dark oak sign, and you're going to do the exact same thing we did here. Once you've got this, on any one of your 3 remaining signs, you're going to dye all of them right, and then if you control middle click all of these signs, then you should get something that looks like this, so you can just place the signs without having to type them all out. This is what your exterior should now look like. You should have black text on a birch sign at the front, and then all the way around you should have dark oak signs with white text. So to finish off this exterior, you're going to need a dark oak sign, and you're going to come to this block here. So what you're going to do is write on the first line, police telephone, just like this. On the second line down, you're just going to put the word free in capital letters. Then on the third line down, just like this, you're going to put for use of public. Finally, on the last one down, in capital letters once again, you're going to put pull to open like that. Click done and then dye the sign white. The last thing we need is now a sea lantern with grey carpet on top to act as our light. And then if you want to, you can put a sea lantern up here in your interior. So that is your exterior complete. Now, this might be a good time to point out that this tutorial was really hard, and this exterior was really hard to design because there's just not enough accurate images of it online. So if you were to look up the second Doctor's TARDIS exterior, you may find some images which look like this, however you may find some different ones. So bear in mind that this may not be 100% accurate to the show, so if it isn't, I apologise, but this is the best I was able to do. Anyway, with that in mind, we're now ready to move on to the interior. So to start with, for your interior, you're going to go to the block you teleport to from your exterior. So for me, this is 5,000, 5,000. You're then going to go 1 block behind like that, dig 1 block down and place another command block facing up. In this command block, you're going to put a very similar command to the one we did for our exterior. However, it's going to teleport you into your exterior. So very quickly, what I mean by this is if you come back to your exterior and then go directly inside and stand on the block where your door is, then you can press F3 and write down these exact coordinates, including in decimals. So go 2021.488 for me, 101, and then 1995.513. Press enter to type these in chat, and then you can enter them directly into your command block. Once you've done that, click done, and then with some light grey concrete, place it on top like that, with a stone pressure plate on top like that. You can now also put a block of light grey concrete where you want to spawn in. So we're now going to move on to the entranceway of this TARDIS, and you're going to need bone blocks for that. However, you're also going to need any random block. Now, I'm going to use light grey concrete, however, because this isn't seen in the actual design, you can use whatever you want. So the first thing you're going to do is skip a block like that and place one block in the air behind like that. If you place a bone block on this block, you will get this round texture, which is what we're going to use for our roundels. And that's why we need these temporary blocks, as if you just place them like this, then you get a completely different texture on the side. Still with our temporary blocks, we're going to put another one on top like that. We're then going to come out one on both sides like that, and then do an extra one on either side like that. Bring this up by 4 blocks. Once you've got that on either side, just fill in 2 blocks there like that, and then you can put bone blocks on all of these temporary blocks here. You should end up with something that looks like this. So all of them should have this circle texture here. You're now going to put another 2 blocks of light grey concrete either side like that. Then you're actually going to put a sea lantern with light grey carpet on top either side like that. So this is going to act as our hidden lighting. You can choose to do this another way. For example, if you're in Bedrock Edition, you can use invisible light blocks, or if you're playing in 1.17, which hasn't come out at the time this video is being recorded, then you can use the light blocks. However, I don't have them like I just mentioned, therefore I'm going to be using this lighting trick. You're then going to need a block of gold and place it on this block like that, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4 with your light grey concrete, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with your light grey concrete like that. To finish off the walls of this entranceway and the extra decoration we're using this gold block for, you're going to need some more temporary blocks. So you're going to miss a block like this and come out 1 block up like that. You're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do that on the other side. So obviously, because the floor extends by 1 here, instead of just continuously along 3 blocks, which means this block would be hidden, you're just going to go 1 behind like that and tower all the way up. Fill all of these with bone blocks. Finally, for our entranceway, you're going to get some acacia fence and a light-weighted pressure plate. You're going to put 2 acacia fences on top of this gold block, and then the light-weighted pressure plate on top like that, and that's a decoration for our entrance. So the next bit of the tutorial is a little bit easier to follow, as it's very repetitive. We're just going to be making the walls all the way around of this TARDIS, and the majority of it is all these bone blocks. So we're first going to be working on this side of the walls, and you're going to come 1 block behind your temporary blocks like that, go a further block out and tower all the way up like that. You're then going to fill all of this in with bone blocks, and do that again, however, only with 1 row, like this. Once you've got this, you can place any 2 temporary blocks under like that, and you're actually just going to tower up with bone blocks. So you do want this texture, as we will be adding something else here in the future. However, we'll get onto that later. Next thing you're going to want to do is replicate that on this side, and then we're actually going to change direction with our bone blocks. So you want to come 2 blocks out and 1 across like that, tower all the way up, just like we do with all our temporary blocks, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, so that your bone blocks are actually facing this direction instead of this direction. This is because the TARDIS now starts curving inwards, so we're going to follow a very similar pattern. So we're going to go 1 block out and then another one across, fill all of this in with temporary blocks and then bone blocks, and then we're actually going to leave the rest of this for now and work on this wall, as we will be placing a corridor here in the near future. So yeah, to start with, for this side of the wall, you're actually going to extend this by 1 row like that. Once you've got this in place, you can kind of clearly see that this wall works in 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it just goes 1 block back each time. So you're going to replicate that another 2 times like that. So you should end up with something that looks like this. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of 8 like that, and they all steadily go in this direction. We're now going to start curving it round to make the entrance / corridor I mentioned earlier. So you're going to come with your temporary blocks, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 just on the side of these bone blocks like that, and then extend it by another row, and then fill all of this in with bone blocks. You're then going to do that again on this side, another block of 8, and fill it all in with bone blocks. And then you're actually going to get some grey concrete and go 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and you're going to get rid of this one. With your bone blocks, once again, you're then going to tower up on top of all of these grey concrete blocks, so you get this texture. You're going to place any random block like that and tower 1, 2 up with your bone blocks, then get rid of it, and you should be left with this wall design. To finish it off, just get 3 birch signs and go 1, 2, 3 with no text like that. Now, this area will all become clear later. However, all we've got to do now is just extend this floor. So pretty much all of this is going to be light grey concrete with some added details like this and our lighting effect. So you're going to need your light grey concrete, and you're just going to fill in another 2 rows of floor like this. You're then going to need your sea lanterns and light grey carpet and do 1, 2 in that corner like that, and another 1, 2 in that corner like that. Fill all of these 4 rows in with light grey concrete. You're then going to get rid of this lighting because I completely forgot we don't need it. And then on this side, just in this space here, you're going to put 1 sea lantern and light grey carpet lighting effect like that. You're then going to fill in another whole row like that, put another lighting effect just here, and then fill in the rest of this row. Then you're actually going to miss some blocks here and just go 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, right the way up until you come to here, where you just need to place another lighting effect like that. And then you're going to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that, with another lighting thing there. So the shape of this floor looks a little bit weird. However, we're going to fix that by adding the walls in this section. Although it is a little bit more complicated, so you may want to watch the video on a slower speed or something similar. So for this section, you're going to need all of the blocks I've got in my hotbar. So you're going to come to this lighting section here and place one block of grey concrete with another 3 bone blocks on top like that. You're then going to get rid of this one in the middle and replace it with a polished andesite with a stone button on like that. You're then going to place any 3 random blocks under here, and you're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side, 1 underneath like that, and then you're going to need actually another one like that on top, so you can place any old block there, and then just go 2 glass panes in the middle like that. Finally, you're going to place another 4 temporary blocks on the side like that, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4 with bone blocks all the way along this edge. So that completes the basic walls of your TARDIS. However, we're going to add the bit here next. So to start with, you're going to need to place a loom, and we're actually going to be creating some banner patterns using light grey banners, orange dye, and black dye. So for our first one, you're going to place a light grey banner in like that and our black dye, and then you're going to create a black border like that. Still with your black dye, you're going to create a black lozenge. And now you're going to swap out your black dye for your orange dye and create a orange roundel. And then with your black dye again, you're going to create a black fess across the middle like that. Finally, you're going to need this line pattern here called a black pally, and that is your first banner design complete. You're going to place on this block here like that. You're then just going to do 2 of the same very simple banner patterns. You're just going to get 2 banners and put a black border on both of them, place 1 there and then 1 there. For our final banner pattern, you're going to need your black dye once again, and you're going to go with a black border, just like all of our banners so far. You're then, with your orange dye, going to create one of these, an orange lozenge in the middle, and you're then going to swap it back out and create a black fess like that. Finally, just like we did in our other one, you're going to need your black pally, and that is your second banner design complete. So now all you need is 2 item frames at the top, and then 2 maps, and they need to look like this. Now, obviously, this is going to take you quite a long time, so you don't need to do this step, but I just think it's a really, really nice detail. So you're going to place one of them in the right item frame, and then one in the left. However, you're going to rotate it like that, so it creates a monitor in the middle of your 2 banners. Now, like I said, you can skip this step if you want to, but if you want to know how to construct it, you just need any white block around the outside, a rim of grey blocks like that. I use stone, black concrete, and then cyan concrete in the middle. Anyway, we're now going to focus on the room that you're able to see through this glass window here, and then also the room that goes here. So we're going to start with this one, and you're going to come behind your window like this, and then extend this grey concrete at the bottom by 1, 2, 3 blocks. You're then going to tower up with your bone block and fill all of this in. You're then going to need any random block down here and pillar up with your bone blocks, and you're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with grey concrete. You're going to do this again on the other side, and then you're just going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4 temporary blocks like that, and then pillar up with your bone blocks. Now, for the full effect, I can highly recommend replacing your temporary blocks here with bone blocks. It just makes the room look a lot nicer. However, you're never actually going to be able to see this part of the room, which we're actually going to utilize in just a second, so it doesn't particularly matter. Now, unlike the rest of the TARDIS, you're actually going to raise all of this up by a further 1 block. Now, all that means is just placing an extra row of bone blocks across the top. Now, you may be wondering what we're going to do about this andesite, and the truth is, we're just going to leave it, and that's because, like I mentioned earlier, no matter where you stand in this glass pane, you can't see those temporary blocks, and you also can't see that andesite, and we're now going to utilize that. So what we're going to do is place 1, 2 sea lanterns in either corner like that, as like I just mentioned, you can't see them no matter where you stand. We're then going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 sea lanterns in each corner like that. Place light grey carpet on top of these 2, and if you want, you can just leave these 2. However, I prefer to place light grey carpet on top of them, just to make it a little bit more uniform. We're now going to focus on this thing, and it's basically going to be a form of circuit board. So going from the bottom up, you're going to place an acacia fence gate open like that. You're then going to place a stone button like that, another open fence gate there, an acacia button next to it, and then finally 2 acacia trapdoors at the top. you're finally just going to place a lever next to it and make sure it's not powered on. The last step in this small little room is just fill in the rest of the floor with light grey concrete and then fill in the roof with black concrete. Once you've done that, when you look through the window, it just creates a really nice effect, and I think it's a really nice detail to have. And then we're going to focus on this room in here. Now, I'm not actually going to give you a tutorial for this room, because what I figured you can do is just put anything you want through here. So I have got a small design, however, I'm just going to build it here. I'm not really going to show you how to build it. Like I said, you can replicate it if you want to, but I can highly recommend just putting anything you want in here. It just adds some really nice customizable features to this TARDIS. So this is my design for this room. It's very simple. All I've got is a little food cube maker in the corner, the same banner pattern design we used over there, and then just pretty much empty space for the rest of it. So like I said, feel free to customize this. You could put corridors or something leading into even more rooms, but that's the design I've gone for. So we're now going to work on another major detail of this TARDIS, and that is the console. So there's no real middle to this TARDIS, as it's a 1-block middle on this axis. However, it's actually a 2-block middle on this axis. So the way I'm going to be doing this is I'm just going to go with this block right here. So on your block you've chosen, you're going to need a block of quartz, and you're going to go 1 like that. You're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a square all the way around it like that using quartz slabs. You're then going to place some white stained glass on top like that, and you're then going to get a lever. You're not going to power it, you're just going to place it on this block here. You are actually going to power this one on this block, and you're not going to power one on that block. You're going to place a polished blackstone pressure plate here, a polished blackstone button here, a stone button there, and then some redstone dust there. That's my console design complete. It's very simplistic in comparison to some of my other ones, and feel free to customize this in any way you want to. So this TARDIS is actually pretty close to completion. We're now just going to be adding some details to the main room and then the roof. So we're going to start with the details, like I said, and we're first going to add some chairs. So we're going to start with the same chair design I used in my last TARDIS, which is scaffolding with some brown carpet on top and then a spruce trapdoor behind like that. Now the trapdoor can be a bit fiddly to place onto the carpet, but you should end up with something that looks like this. You're then going to do a very classic chair design using spruce stairs and then 2 spruce signs either side like that to create a small little armchair over here. Next up, we're going to be making some details for this wall, and first you're going to need 2 oak fence in this corner like that. You're then going to place a honeycomb block on top like that, a double chest down here, and then spruce fence 1, 2 just like we did with the oak, with a spruce pressure plate on top like that. That's actually your details complete. And finally for this TARDIS, we've got the roof. However, that's a bit more complicated than you may think. So we're just going to start by putting black concrete on top of all of this. Now, please note, over here in the middle, we will be replacing some of this black concrete. So if you're trying to conserve blocks, then please just be aware that we will be breaking some of these in the future. So once that roof is in place, you can kind of get a feel for this TARDIS. However, there's a reason I put all of these light blocks in place, as I'm playing on bright right now, and it's still kind of dim in some areas. I mean, if I go to brightness moody, which is actually the default, you can really see the difference they make. Without them, the entire TARDIS would be pitch black. Anyway, like I said, we've got some more decorations to add. So for your first one, you're just going to come to this area here, and you're going to destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks of your black concrete like that. Then with your blocks of quartz, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on either side like that. And you're then going to put 1 block in the middle like that. Now you're just going to fill in these 2 areas with quartz and then place 1, 2, 3 sea lanterns like that on top. This is what it should look like from underneath. And then you're just going to get another block of quartz, place it like that, place an item frame on top, and then you're going to need another one of these monitor maps. So this one is very similar to this one, as you can see. However, it is just one map with no surrounding white instead of the 2 that we've got here. So place it on that item frame, and that is your monitor for this TARDIS. The only remaining detail we've got left to add to this TARDIS is a sort of fan design that goes above the console. So you're going to destroy the block directly above the time rotor and replace it with quartz. You're then going to do the same for 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks around it like that. Destroy these 4 and place iron bars in them like that. And then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 on top of the iron bars with sea lanterns. And that is actually your TARDIS complete. So apologies in advance if this tutorial seemed a little bit fast paced, but while it's quite a small TARDIS, it's actually quite a detailed one. So this tutorial may have been a little bit shorter than some of my others, but I really wanted to release this one as it's one that's been heavily requested. And I'd just like to say at the end here, a very similar thing I said about my exterior. If you look up some image of this TARDIS, you may find some very different ones to this design, and that's because there's no real good images of it. I've really had to improvise with this one, and I hope you think it turned out well. So I really hope you like this TARDIS. I definitely had a lot of fun designing it, and I hope you like the tutorial too. If you did, please leave a like or comment, and if you'd like to see more content like this, then please subscribe. But I've been DT10, and I will see you in the next video.